Monkey Man, Dev Patel's feature directorial debut, ends with Kid having accomplished his biggest goal. Monkey Man's reviews have raved about the first-time filmmaker's actioner, which recalls movies like John Wick and The Raid, among others. By the film's end, Patel's unnamed character, credited only as Kid, has sought his revenge on Rana Singh, the man who killed his mother and aided the religious figure Baba Shakti in destroying homes and stealing land. With the help of the Hijra, a group of intersex and transgender women, Kid fights his way through Queenie's high-end club and brothel, taking out everyone who gets in his way. Kid, a man of little dialogue, finally faces Rana with the acknowledgement of what the police chief had done to Kid's mother. The two fight each other, with Rana viciously beating Kid, though the latter comes out on top. Kid beats Rana until he's dead before going after Baba Shakti, who tries to unsuccessfully flee. After gruesome combat, Kid kills Baba Shakti before passing out from his own wounds. Does Dev Patel's Kid die at the end of Monkey Man? Kid falls to the ground after being stabbed by Baba Shakti. Monkey Man's ending sees Kid falling to the ground after killing Baba Shakti, who had stabbed Kid, though he held out until the very end. However, while Kid falls, allegedly dying from his stab wound, Monkey Man doesn't show him on the ground as the film shifts to a flashback of his mother. This could be Kid's final memory as he dies from his wounds, but the fact that Patel avoids confirming Kid's death suggests the fighter is still alive. It's possible Sita and the Hijra will find him before the authorities do, bringing him back to safety to recuperate. On the other hand, Kid's death would make sense within the scope of Monkey Man's story. After all, Kid had spent the majority of his life seeking revenge and he'd finally gotten it. With his mission over, and both Rana Singh and Baba Shakti dead, Kid could finally rest in peace knowing he'd accomplished his goal. Patel leaves the ending as ambiguous as ever, as the audience ponders whether or not Kid is really dead. With the evidence laid out, and with how strong Kid became by the end, it's likely the underdog survived even the greatest injury. Baba Shakti's death and its impact explained. The guru had political connections and power that will be affected. Dev Patel as Kid aiming gun in Monkey Man. Baba Shakti wielded a lot of power, and before his death he was imploring his followers to vote for a political leader he was aligned with. Baba Shakti's death will certainly shake things up, in both the political and religious sphere. It's a disruption to the status quo and the religious figure had plenty of powerful connections that will be affected, and even perhaps dissolved, because of his death. What's more, Baba Shakti's death signals to other political and religious figures in power that they're not safe from Kid's wrath, or from the power of the people when they rise up against them together. Other members of the elite will likely be shaken that someone could get close enough to kill them, and they will probably be uneasy for a long time to come. Baba Shakti's death is also a statement, a pivotal turning point in dismantling the systems of power and corruption that shaped Kid's life and that keep underserved communities on the lowest rungs of the ladder. Why Sita finally fights back against Rana and helps Kid. Sita finally breaks free from Queenie's cruelty during Monkey Man's ending. Sita stands with a group of women in Monkey Man. Sita is a sex worker Kid meets while working at Queenie's underground club. Unlike Kid, Sita doesn't think there's any point in fighting and has accepted her lot in life despite the abuse and mistreatment she endures. But by the end of Monkey Man, Sita, who is described as tender on the inside by actress Sabita Dilippala, has a change of heart. Sita is someone who had given into the hopelessness of her situation, but watching Kid fight and lose, yet returned to finish the job despite the powerful figures against him, returned some of her hope. So, Sita not only fought back against Rana and Queenie, but joining Kid in battle saw her finally breaking free from the control Queenie had on her, as well as the cruelty she suffered through day in and day out. Sita finally took action, shedding aside the fear and internal grief that had gripped her for so long. She had found a way out thanks to Kid's actions, and seeing the Hijra fight alongside him also helped her see the power of the disenfranchised against the elite.